Hello, I'm Doug Keck, and this is an EWTN bookmark brief. Our author is Carl E. Olson, author of Did Jesus Really Rise from the Dead? So tell us, Carl, what is this book about?
Well, it's about the resurrection, and really what it is a popular book for a wide audience, meant to go through really the basis based on scripture and logic and history for the belief in the resurrection. And so we cover a lot of ground in about 200 pages in the book, and try to address all of the, I think all of the major objections that have been raised over the centuries to the belief in the resurrection.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is the major objection you hear today?
Well, today I think it's on one hand you have those who say, well, Jesus didn't even exist. And so that's kind of on the more skeptical end. And so you have a chapter in there talking about the historicity and the belief of the existence of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And then on the other end, what you have is people say, well, he didn't really physically rise from the dead. It was just kind of a vague spiritual event. And so even if we found his body, it wouldn't be a big deal, because really it's all about that spiritual reality. And both of those views are false, and I argue that they're very problematic from the kind of Orthodox Christian perspective. They don't make sense of the evidence. Mm-hmm. They don't make sense logically of what the church has always believed.
Mm-hmm. Can someone be a Christian and not believe that Jesus rose from the dead?
Well, I would say no. I don't think so, because when you say you're a Christian, you believe in the person of Jesus Christ, and central to the belief of Jesus Christ, as the early apostles said again and again in their sermons, is Jesus rose from the dead. I mean, if you say I'm a Christian but I don't believe that Jesus rose from the dead, then what you're saying is I believe in some kind of a moral system based on the teachings of Christ. But that's never what the early Christians and the Catholic Church has ever taught. Christianity is about. Essentially, it is about the fact that Christ is the Son of God. He did die, and he did rise from the dead, and then everything else, the way that we live in light of that, flows from that reality.
And that's what this book is all about, answering those kinds of questions and objections. Our author is Carl E. Olson. The book is Did Jesus Really Rise from the Dead? Available through the EWTN Religious Catalog, EWTNRC.com. Look for the entire interview coming soon here on Bookmark's EWTN program. And of course, this has been a Bookmark Brief, and I'm Doug Keck. Thanks for taking the time with us.